we have to be present and aware of what's going on in social media. I think some adults love to tout the almost like a badge of honor that, oh, I'm not on social media. Well, we can't afford to be off social media because it's all over us.
You're listening to the smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This is our District Talk segment where we interview district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday shine online. Now, let's get back to the interview.
Hi, I'm C.J. Anderson, Superintendent of the Elko County School District, located in rural Northeast Nevada. We have about 10,000 students across 24 unique school sites, including schools in traditional settings, combined K-12 schools, and one-room rural schoolhouses. And these schools are spread across more than 17,000 square miles, making us the fourth largest geographic school district in the contiguous United States.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Mark Marshall, Superintendent, Los Spanish Unified School District. We're in the Central Valley of California. We're the only school district in the city of Los Banos. We have 11,000 students and 16 campuses.
Hi, I'm Dr. M Daugherty. I am the Superintendent of Schools for Chesterfield County Public Schools in Chesterfield, Virginia. We're located between Richmond and Petersburg, about 431 square miles. We have over 65,000 students and 67 schools.
How has the prevalence of technology in the classroom impacted student learning and engagement?
The ubiquity of technology in our classrooms today, even compared to just a few years ago, is kind of one of the more sweeping changes we've ever seen in education. I mean, rarely does any sort of change happen that quickly for us, but the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic really forced us all to make some changes. The impact we have seen is varied and probably still evolving. Many classrooms went from very little technology incorporation to having all instruction take place digitally. However, instruction on a digital device, we know, is not necessarily digital instruction. And I believe that's where many teachers and students are right now. We're exploring and learning how to utilize technology to enhance instruction and learning how to have true digital learning. The extent to which we successfully accomplish this will truly dictate the levels of student engagement in that learning environment.
Technology is a great thing. It's enhanced our instructional practices. We're very fortunate here where we have one-to-one capacity for all of our students. And we've seen great benefits as far as looking at our student achievement results. The technology is a great tool, and our kids do a great job as far as our families have access to it, and we've seen the benefits.
I think it's really enhanced what we do in the classroom and aided teachers. We are a full one-to-one school division. It has enhanced our online learning, our virtual schools, and it's also allowed us to do a lot of distance learning where schools share staff between other schools, as well as bring in virtual teachers into our classroom to teach some math and science. So I think it's really enhanced what we're trying to do and aid the teachers in getting to the content.
How can school districts deal with social media issues that may originate on a social media app, but then create a very real problem on campus?
The reality is, in today's digital social age, it's an inevitability and something we deal with probably on a daily basis. Whenever I hear this question, my mind goes immediately to like interpersonal conflict between kids. But the reality is it's much more pervasive than that. And that can include anything. It can be those ridiculous challenges, air quotes challenges that they had kids doing, to viral dances, and then to serious things like social and geopolitical issues. We have to be prepared for how to respond and educate our students and staff on how to be good digital citizens and neighbors. The first side of this approach, I think, is by knowing what's on the screens in front of our students and stakeholders' faces, we can be prepared to address any fallout and think of how to mitigate those effects without significantly interrupting our school day. However, the other half of this equation is really probably the most important half, and that is teaching good digital citizenship to our students and how they can vet information, verify accuracy, and know kind of how the consequences of their actions and their behavior on social media can impact their real life.
When it starts dealing with the issues with social media, it starts with policy. You have to have clear policies around social media in the school district. And when you have those policies, I think that the families can support you. If you don't have policies in place, then people don't know the expectation. That's the first thing. In our district, like most districts in the country, we have issues with social media, with threats and stuff like that. But by having a good plan in place, making sure that our stakeholders know what the expectations are, we've been able to limit that as far as the impact on operations. drastically.
It is a big problem. I think everything out there in social media affects the schools just like everything in society affects us. I think the opportunity to have open communications with our parents, keeping them informed. We do a lot with parent meetings. And also we use a lot of protective, like gaggle and other things to protect our students when they're using our systems to make sure we're helping them and dealing with, suicide issues, bullying issues, social problems. I think it's really helped our counselors try to get ahead of the game.
Can you provide some examples of how your students may have used their social media in a positive or productive way that may have benefited themselves, their community, or even launched them into their future for college or career?
I have an amazing example. So our community, like so many others, is doing its best to address the growing mental health crisis in our community. And last school year, in the aftermath of unfortunately having back-to-back months where our two largest high schools had a death by suicide, a student at one of those high schools decided she wanted to do something to help her peers and to make an impact and make a difference. With the help of one of her advisors at school, this student created a vision for a community mental health fair that she felt like we needed to have. And she did the advertising, she did the fundraising, she utilized social media in those regards. She actually joined me as a guest on my monthly local radio spot. And because of these efforts, it just kind of like caught lightning in a bottle there. And it garnered interest from public entities, from businesses, other organizations. And this small little mental health fair that she envisioned turned into something so much bigger, wildly successful, huge attendance rates, raised way more funds than they thought, to where they had to start kind of expanding the offerings that would be at the mental health fair. Her vision, her desire to help her friends, and then her know-how of utilizing social media to help spread the word and make it grow and trend, that sort of thing, turned into her event being wildly successful and something that our community greatly benefited from.
There's one example that really stands out. Recently, one of our football teams advanced to the playoffs. I think it's the first time this particular school that they've gone into playoffs in a long time. They did a video. The kids they basically did a hype video and on it's TikTok. And basically they had the principal in a role acting like he was a student. It went viral. I mean, it had thousands of views. And that's just something positive. That's one, basically what our kids can do. And secondly, in terms of just the capacity of technology, the benefits of it.
What I've seen from especially our secondary students, they are not only promoting with videos from their projects that they do on enhancements, on field trips, or things that are going on in schools, but they are working a great deal with our online systems, with their learning management system, the Canvas, to create their own chat rooms, to do work together, to do some tutoring together. And so we've encouraged our online systems for our students to have access and to work together.
Thanks for listening to our smartsocial.com podcast. I'm your host, Josh Oakes. This was our District Talk segment where we interview school district leaders to learn how they're keeping students safe on social media so those students can someday launch into their future by shining online. This episode was brought to you by our smartsocial.com VIP program. It's called the Very Informed Parent Program, which helps you engage your students with teen-led video lessons. Stay one step ahead with our premium parent newsletter and discover hidden features on trending apps on teens' phones and our 54 plus live parent and student-friendly events every single year. You can click on the link below to chat with one of our team members if you want a free pass to our VIP program to support your community with our smartsocial.com resources. And if you're a district leader who has a success story, we would love to feature you on a future episode. You can click the links below to reach out. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Have a great day.